Hello, everyone, and welcome back to CEVO-TV. I'm your host, Misled. Along with later, we are getting map number 2 underway here with the Flying V versus eLevate. About to go live, and of course, the Flying V took home map number 1 in a very, very close game that actually went down to overtime and on map number 1. So, interesting start for the night, but that is going to make it vVv's game to lose tonight to try and make themselves get a W here, and not just the tie.
Yeah, sorry. I'm reeling from a quick mistake that I have made, but Dynamo not making any mistakes, picking up 2 frags right off the bat as no one finds one for himself. So far, a really great start for vVv as the eLevate players are just getting cut down.
And Funshine's going to be back into the server now, able to get himself a frag onto Storm, so they just had to take a quick little break in between map number 1 and number 2 to be able to get Funshine in there so he can be back. But Sav stepped up, played amazingly well for Funshine on map number 1. Top fragging, ended up getting himself over a 30 bomb, and vVv will take that pistol round, which will make it 1-0 over eLevate.
Yeah, I mean, probably a bummer to not be able to finish out the series with the team. I'm sure he was super pumped to be able to really stick it to eLevate on a map too, but gotta give up your spot for the starters, and really, I don't think anyone tells Funshine to get out of a server. Right? No one can do that.
Yeah, true. No,
Yeah,
Funshine's
really,
an animal.
yeah, definitely. And great flashes and counter flashes coming out from the vVv Gaming players, but they gave up a lot of positioning, and the eLevate players are going to come out on top here, picking up 3 frags at long.
Oh, that's actually going to be, we're going to miss Jay, Funshine, and Dynamo, so Fade's going to be right there watching the cross. Same with his teammate, No One, but there could be a gigantic flank incoming. It might not matter, though, as Desi steps out, hits 2 shots. That's Fade, and No One out of the way. And just like that, eLevate will win themselves an eco round against the Flying V.
Yeah, and not only did they pick up the eco round, but they got 3 FAMASs and an MP7 for their trouble. This is, I mean, yeah, you never recommend a team lose a pistol round, but it's really not a terrible outcome, all things considered. It really puts them in the driver's seat here. It's going to be up to vVv to throw it right back into eLevate's face, and they're going to kind of try to do that with a boost up to Cat, putting 2 players there, Jay and No One, but eLevate's smart. They're not going to get too aggressive. They're not going to let themselves be in a position where they can get pushed on and jumped.
Roka's going to walk his way up. He's going to look over to the right, end up taking down Dynamo. So that's going to be an opening frag in favor of eLevate. There are CTs right there in mid. That's going to be 2 of them. No One steps out on the catwalk, ends up hitting a pistol shot onto Desi. Has to back his way up. Eats a little bit of a grenade right there. Stays up on his feet until Roka removes him. And Jay tries to peek out and ends up getting taken down at the playground. Just waited a little bit too long there. Rush collected the frag onto him, so now it's all up to Fade and Funshine here. Fade's going to be down to 19 HP, Funshine down to 92. They're not getting aggressive. What they're going to do here is wait for Fade to get in position. They're going to try and maybe get a little bit of a pinch here on anybody exiting, try and get themselves some rifles going into the next round. They would love to grab that AK from Storm, but no one is rotating in the direction of Funshine, so it's all going to be kind of up to Fade, and no one's pushing long A house at all.
Is Fade? I'm kind of surprised Fade is so unwilling to peek there. It's not like he had so much to hold on to for his team.
He had nothing.
Yeah, I mean, just the pistol. Yeah,
It was
I don't
only
know.
a P2000.
I thought he would peek out and maybe try to force some frags. He must have heard those players running and saving on along, but clearly values his life way too much. You can't put a 2 there in the death column. It would make the 1 look, you know, the Fade, or sorry, the other player's only 1, Funshine's 1 would look alone. So
Exactly.
I guess that must have been the thought process he was using. And it looks like Dynamo's going to be able to get the jump on Roka early.
XP3 will pick up 2, trading out Dynamo, then taking down Jay, and that will make it 1, 2, 3. That's going to be 4-3. Now 4-2 as we have Fade left alive. Can Fade stay up? Barely stays alive. Goes down to 1 HP, and Funshine is still up, though. He's going to be trying to rotate. He's all the way top mid, trying to fight here. And they're going to continue to try and force their way through lower B here, as Fade and Funshine are both converging right there out in mid. Is Desi going to get both? And he will collect both of those frags. And that will make it 3-1 in favor of eLevate.
Yeah, exactly what eLevate needed to, I think, rebound from that last map. The fact that they were able to eco vVv and then spin that into 3 successful rounds, absolutely what they needed to start things off right. But last time they started things off right, they didn't exactly end them as right as I think they wanted to. And in that last game, even though they were up, what, 4-0 right off the bat?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I complimented them on it. That was probably the worst thing I could have done for them. But it looks like this round, or this half, what am I saying? This game, I'm going to try a similar strategy. Compliment them early.
Ooh.
And with that, XP3 goes down. Got worked down to 23 armor. That might be one of the lowest armor counts I've ever seen. Probably held on to that same set for all, rounds 2, 3, and 4.
So now we're going to have eLevate down one man, trying to work their way out middle. This will be a B split. Bomb is waiting in the tunnels. He's going to get aggressive and try and force his way in. But no one is still standing there at the door. Does he get Desi? No, Desi winds his way backwards. They know that no one is right there. No one hits the initial shot. He's right there in the doorway, though. Hits a secondary one, but that is going to be Rush going back and forth through the window, able to pick up that frag. So now we're going to have Rush and Storm left alive versus Jay, Fade, and Dynamo. It will be a 3-man retake attempt, and they're all going to be going up towards the door and window. Molotov goes down. Fade tries to commit to the shot, can't hit it, and that is going to be Fade actually burning out Rush right there. So now it's all Storm getting in the lineup, and he gets the spray down. That will be 4-1 eLevate as Storm hits a nice spray down. Got a little bit lucky there.
Oh, I would say a lot of it lucky there, but sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. I mean, he had that first guy tagged down, and just so happened to be another guy waiting for him right behind him. So, good play there from Storm, picking up another clutch round, actually picking up his first frags of the game, and I would say they were a very crucial two. It's going to force vVv on another eco round, more pistols in their hands. I'm sure they're pretty fresh. I feel like they've had so many pistols in their hands. All they want is rifles, and once they had that opportunity, Storm just ripped it away from them.
Looks like they might be getting aggressive here in mid again. It's going to be vVv Gaming onto a save, and Jay hits a shot right there onto Roka, and eLevate looking very good so far on Dust too. That's why they picked it, but one would have thought, at least so far into this game, vVv would be standing a better chance with how well they played on Cash. But eLevate is just shutting everything down right now. They got that eco and haven't looked back since. And they're going to try and force this into a 4 versus 3. They have forced it into a 4-on-3. XP3 op in hands. Jay has picked himself up an AK that was dropped by Roka.
Yeah, it seems like the vVv has stepped up at any opportunity they've had, but unfortunately just unable to come away with the round wins. They won the first pistol round. I would say arguably one of the biggest step ups you could do, and then got eco'd after that. That kind of happens. Rode out those 3 rounds, and then on the gun round stepped up again, and it just came down to some really unlucky play slash great play from Storm, ripping it away from them. So they stepped up on the pistol round, came up big, stepped up on the rifle round, almost came up big, just fell just short. I mean, I really don't think the score is is a great indication of how or how close the game is, but it certainly is an indication of how far eLevate is to push vVv and the cushion that vVv is going to have to break through for them to come back into this game. But they still have, on the 2 super important rounds, they still have put up good fights. So let's see if they can continue to do so with rifles in their hands. It looks like eLevate wants control of long, and vVv is going to let them have it.
So it's going to be 5-1 will be the scoreboard in favor of eLevate at the moment. They're still T-side, and they're not really working that hard. Now they're going to kind of work. They're going to send 3 players towards long if they can grab some frags here. It will be a buy-up round coming from vVv. The Flying V not in the best money situation, but Fade does open it up a little bit on the rush there. Desi's got to take down Dynamo, ends up spraying him down. That will turn... possibly. They think it's going to be a fake. They're calling for it. Jay is right there, takes down Desi, and that is going to give the A-bomb site wide open, as now the terrorists will be rotating their way up the catwalk. So it's going to be a 3 versus 4, 4-man retake attempt as the bomb gets planted for long. XP3 will get it down for his teammates. He really wants to make this long cross, and I wonder if he's going to go for it. No, he's going to burn out. Jay, throw the Molotov down, and Jay, why is Jay just sitting there? Just barely gets away from it. And Funshine will drop XP3, so op down out of the way. So now it's going to be Roka and Storm trying to hold 2 versus 4. Jay goes down initially. Now they know where one of the CTs are. Now they know where both of them are. And Fade will hit the first one on the Roka and the secondary one onto Storm. 3K for Fade, and that will make They got on it in time. Yeah, that will make the score 5-2 in favor of eLevate.
A little closer than I think they would have liked, but really they were so convinced it was a fake, as you pointed out, in the middle of the round. It was really up to, I believe it was Jay, who was hanging out in the CT spawn area, just heard so many footsteps running across Cat that at that point they couldn't deny any longer that it was not going to be the B bomb site. You know, I like that they didn't react too quickly. They know eLevate can be a really tricky team. They can get faked out really easily, and they showed that round. Not only are they not going to get fooled by potential tricks, but also once if they are, it is not a trick and they just do have to give up parts of the map, they do have the teamwork and the ability to retake and fight for them. So I think that was a really good round for vVv to get themselves back on track, but they need to continue to win. They need to continue to put the pressure on eLevate and break the economic, advantage seems like an understatement that eLevate has already started to accrue. And Funshine taking a peek through double doors, trying to find Desi here. Might get pop flash for his troubles. It will fall off. Well, not quite. He wants it. He really wants that frag.
Oh yeah, Funshine. The Funshine wants that. Desi's right there around the corner. That's going to be a Rush boosted up onto the Xbox, just waiting to see if anyone's going to be aggressive. No one's going to be playing the Catwalk aggressive, though. Dynamo's actually going to be playing that from the A bomb site, back behind the bomb box. Storm's going to be right there in lower B. They're going to commit this, and looks like they're going to try and work this into an A attempt. Oh, Rush gets away, only taking about 16 damage there. Not bad for the Molotov, but Dynamo still crouched down ready. He steps out a little too wide and gets taken down. So now Jay and Fade are right there. Desi's able to hit Jay. Roka is able to take down Fade as Fade hit a nice touchdown grenade on Desi for the trade out. Storm right there up top on the catwalk. Ends up removing no one from the round. And this is going to look rough here. It's going to be all to Funshine. He's going to be 1 versus 4 op in hand. And he is he's basically cut down right here. He has nowhere to escape, nowhere to be able to save this op, so he's got to try and get some frags to be able to get out. He's able to take down XP3. They know where he is, though, so now they're going to try and rotate, converge on top of him, not allow him. He's going to try and work his way out the mid double doors, takes a bunch of damage, down low on HP, down to 16. He would love to save this up, but he's getting pushed from every direction. He knows he's has to gunfight his way out of it, misses the secondary shot onto Roka, and goes down 3K for Roka, and that will make the score 6-2. eLevate is up, and that's a rough look for vVv's economy.
Yeah, definitely. They do have a lot of money on Fade, who was able to stay alive and save some weaponry, but the rest of them not so great. Going to be forced to have pistols in their hands once again. Right when they were getting traction, eLevate just rips it away from them, and eLevate doing such a good job of peeking in teams, making sure that the vV gaming players can never just catch your one-on-one opportunities. It seems like every time they're peeking, they're working as a team and trading out their teammates so effectively. I mean, there's a perfect example right there, not allowing no one to pick up multiple frags for his trouble. But now XP3 getting chased from a pretty far distance. I wonder if he knows it. Fell at the wow, they shot at him just because he fell right off the ledge. Unfortunate timing for the counter-terrorists, and they are going to get punished for it.
That's going to be XP3 taking down Jay, so now it's all up to Fade and Funshine. Going to be the last 2 alive. Desi's going to step his way out. Fade is right there to his left. He needs to see him, sees him over the top of the smoke, ends up dropping down, hitting the shot, and Funshine will be all by himself once again into lower B. It's going to be 1 versus 4. He just wants an exit frag very, very bad. Wants to use this 5-7 as the number 6 man. Storm's going to rotate in his direction. Can he hit a 5-7 shot? Not able to do it. And eLevate looking very good so far on T side of Dust 2. That's going to be round 10 that we're getting into now. Score will be 7-2. eLevate.
Yeah, Fade going to be picking up that off for Funshine. So I assume they're going to trade back. There you go. They trade it right back, so they are going to be fully bought up, and there is going to be an op working for Funshine. It seems like he'd been doing a good job of using it to his advantage. Even when he was getting chased down by God knows how many eLevate players at the time, he's still able to hit at least one crucial shot. I'm sure this time will be no different. Interestingly enough, though, not going to be playing it towards mid, allowing Fade to hold that down while he's hanging out towards A. eLevate's been kind of all over the map, using all parts of it, but they've definitely shown, I think, that they were leaning towards the A bomb, so they've definitely gone there more times. So I think sticking Funshine with the ob there is the right decision, and they're going to be working the bomb up Cat, so it seems like it is the correct decision.
So XP3 will be the initial player up, along with not quite. They're just gonna wait for the counters that are gonna be coming out. Here come the counters. Fade is gonna get burned up a little bit there. Actually, no, take none of that. He actually works his way out of it. And Funshine will take down Desi, who gets aggressive, but this has pulled a gigantic rotate. They're fully committed to this rush. Gets one before the trade out. Roka's able to grab Fade and Funshine. So now no one, and Dynamo will be the last two left alive.
Oh, he
and
pulled out a
Storm gets
Molotov.
Oh, but at long, Dynamo's right there. Can he hit it? No, XP3 gets him. So now it's going to be no one versus XP3. XP3 is going to wait there on the ramp. He sees the shot. No one's going to drop down. XP3 will try and rotate his right around. Yeah, he's all over this. Yeah, he saw him try and hit the drop. So XP3 is going to try and hit this with a pistol in hand. Ends up getting it right off the bat. One tap on the head of no one. Wins the 1 versus 2 clutch for eLevate to make them officially win the half 8-2.
Yeah, and stepping up big there on that clutch. I really, for a second, thought that was around that vVv could win. They really surprised. They really surprised me with how they were able to work it down to that 2-on-1 situation. But either way, Storm or XP3 just too strong. I don't know. Storm has clutched so many times I can't even keep track of which one of them is doing the clutching this time. But yeah, that time it was XP3. And I think he was definitely due for a step up with the op. I mean, obviously he's been playing, lights out with it for this whole game, but kind of left something to be desired, I think, on Cash with his play. And it seems like he's not leaving anything on the table this game.
So into round 11, eLevate's got to get a walk in all the way into the A bomb site. Nothing's going to happen until XP3 does take down Fade post plant. There goes Roka getting J, and that was going to be actually vVv Gaming stacking their way towards the B bomb site. They bid on it really hard. They were going to be in an eco round. They had to try and do something to try and change the tide here, and it didn't work out in their favor. Funshine is able to get that off down. He's got to get out and get it before he gets AK'd down. Still committed to it, goes down. Storm and Roka at the end on the cleanups. 2K for Roka. That will make the score 9-2 in favor of eLevate as we hit round 12, and it's going to be a buyout coming from vVv Gaming. It will be a full buy for them.
Yeah, that if no one was a little bit closer to his teammate there, but either way, getting one frag and the op down, I'm sure it was recovered out of the hands, though. Just kind of mixing things up. Still good for them, showing that they can frag. They still can compete. They are going to have rifles up this game. I feel like vVv almost never gets an early pick on the map for the most part. It seems like it's just a matter of eLevate executing wherever they can. Yeah. And, them just... Oh, Desi.
Oh, wow.
Fade. Come on, Fade.
Cannot let that happen if you're Fade. You
No, definitely
let
not.
that happen.
Definitely not. I'm not sure how blind he was, but he had to have been unblind by the time he really had the opportunity to get the kill. And with that rush, picking up another frag, now a 4-on-1. It's going to be a tough one for no one to win, especially since he is all the way over at B. Be curious to see if he even gets away with that rifle, as it seems like a retake is out of the realm of possibilities.
Yeah, so bomb goes down at A, and it looks like the terrorists are ready and willing to try and hunt this. And they're going in the correct direction at the moment, as no one knows that he's getting pushed. He has to know that somebody's directly in front of him. That's going to be Desi's going to be the close man. Roka's right there, and they should push their way into T-spawn here. And he's got to be able to pick up both of these frags. And Desi, Roka will be the first one out. Roka goes down. They make the call where he's at. I wonder if Desi gets too aggressive or he waits till he has backup. Doesn't matter. No one in a dangerous position here. They know where he's at. He has to try and win this battle and get away. Can't do it. Rush will get the final frag of the round. That will make the score 10-2 for eLevate. And they are they're not letting off the gas in the least bit on the flying V right now. I mean, it's just pedal down all the way.
Yeah, definitely. Clearly feel as though they have something to prove after coming up just short on that cash one. It seems to be an interesting trend that we see in a lot of these best of twos. It's, usually when one team is heavily favored over another, when you see game one is really close, it's a grinder, and who knows who comes out on top of it. And then game two comes around, and the team that everyone thinks should have won the first game or should be winning in general just locks it down. We saw that with, I think, Paradox Cloud9. I think Paradox, that's off the top of my head. I mean, they 16-0'd them on Overpass, if I'm remembering correctly. It just seems to be a recurring theme with a lot of these teams. Hope that was Paradox. I can't quite remember, but definitely I remember Cloud9 doing it to someone.
So into round 13, Funshine will be the last one left alive. He gets taken down after he got a frag that round. Dynamo also gets a frag that round, and that will make the score 11-2 as we hit round 14, and eLevate is looking to have a commanding lead going in the second half. They want to try and make this that 13-2 scoreboard.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, vVv still has guns in their hands, so they're still going to be able to fight back. You know, 11-4 is not great, but it's better than 13-2. So, you know, for their sake, I hope they can battle back, or else it might be a good game a little sooner than I think they would have liked. Either way, coming away with at least map 1 has to be pretty... It must feel pretty good knowing that, you know, it's not going to be a loss, even though we're getting worked pretty badly. We're still, at the very least, going to come away with a tie, just putting the pressure all on eLevate to step up. And, you know, we saw the gaming make a comeback before. I guess they were, you know, up early on cash, but then they had to make the re-comeback. So it shows they are a very resilient team, and you know, this is a huge gap. I would be absolutely shocked if they could make a comeback from this point, but, you know, it's not impossible.
Yeah, true. I mean, they can come back from this. They can bring this back. It's going to be a little bit tougher, and they might just do it right here. Tough. Yeah, but Fade will take down XP3. Storm's going to step out into the B bomb site. Ends up taking down no one to the left of the B tunnels, and it will be... Oh, Dynamo, does he get the spot? He does get the spot. Takes down Desi. Bomb down at A, and now Storm is all alone by himself with a lot of money in the bank, so it doesn't matter if he goes for this. I fully expect him to. Gonna walk down in the lower B. Jay's right there on the catwalk, and Jay will take him down. And that will make the score 11-3 as we hit the round 15.
Yeah, they're going to have plenty of money to replace no one's... well, is he going to get a FAMAS? What is that? Is that what he's playing with? Looks like he didn't quite have as much money as I thought he would. But he should still be able to come away with a rifle. No, there is an M4 on the ground.
Oh,
and
man,
another AK for his other...
pick.
Yeah, a lot of...
They're going for it.
A lot of gun shuffling over in the CT, but over on the terrorists, it's scopes going down.
Roka!
Yeah, decapitating Funshine. And gonna swap out his auto sniper for an op. That is one of the most painful. And then swapping it out for a better skin. That's just disrespectful, Roka. Why you gotta do it like that?
Oh man, so now we're gonna be 11-3 here into the final round of the half. eLevate going with those scopes to try and shut down that round. Fade will take down XP3. Can he get another one? Nope. Roka's right there to shut him out of the way. And that's going to make it a 4 versus 3 in favor of eLevate. Dynamo might be able to grab something here. Steps through the smoke. He does have a terrorist. Yeah, that's made his way past him, and I don't think they know Dynamo's there. They are not aware at all. Dynamo's going to have a good shot here. Can he take down Storm? Also goes for it. Able to hit both of those frags. But here comes Rush from behind on the catwalk. Ends up taking him down. That turns it into a 2 versus 2.
Oh, Desi's going to catch Jay out here, too. Great positioning from Dez, and that's going to open up the A-bomb site.
Now we're going to be down to that 2 versus 1. No one is going to be there trying to fight against Volcano. Or, man, I continue to do that. Rush versus Desi. No one's going to step out off the catwalk. Rush is going to be right there. Rush gets the side off, but very low will be no one. He's down to 19 HP, and Rush is just toying with him at the moment. Rush steps back out, gets the headshot onto no one. That will make the score at half 12-3 in favor of eLevate. And that's a rough first half if you are the Flying V.
Yeah, that's a really rough first half, especially considering how strong they looked on cash and how, I think, promising a potential win looked for them going into this map. But, you know, eLevate's a really strong team, and that's what happens when you leave a map like Dust 2 on the board. You know, I guess in retrospect, eLevate really not super interested in playing cash, but by showing a tendency to play some of the crazier maps like Cobble and Train, forced vVv to ban themselves, and you leave a map like Dust 2 out there on the table, and eLevate's going to smash you for that every time. It seems like they're kind of just learning to live with their mistake, and perhaps next time they face a team like eLevate who has shown interest in those other maps, maybe just pick one of them. Try to find practice on another one. I guess Cobble seems to be the easier one to find practice on. You know, maybe just ban Train and then ban Dust 2, or I don't know. I don't really know what the solution is, but maybe the solution is just practice more Dust 2. As crazy as that sounds. Maybe vVv probably hasn't played enough Dust 2 in their day. God, that must, if they hear me say that, they would hate just hearing that someone hasn't played enough Dust 2. God.
Yeah, it's just, oh man. The Flying V looks so good on map number 1, not able to translate it here onto the eLevate pick, and now eLevate will be CT side. If they're able to get this pistol, then 2 anti-ecos, that will effectively be not effectively, that will be match point for them. And not a situation that if you are the Flying V that you want to be in. And XP3 end up taking down Dynamo. Fade's going to be right there in his face. Can he get the frag on him? So far missing his shots. Finally hits the headshot as Desi will clean up on top of Catwalk. But all the CTs have rotated over towards A, and the fake is secured. Bomb planted. Now it's going to be a 5-man retake attempt coming, as it's going to be Funshine and no one. They need to get some opening frags here, and they need to get him right off the bat, but Funshine gets one before the trade out, and Volcano Rush, my goodness, Rush ends up getting the cleanup frag, and that will make it 13-3 in favor of eLevate.
Yeah, just furthering their lead. It's got to be pretty frustrating for vVv. I mean, you're going into that 2-on-4, 2-on-5, probably knew they weren't going to come away with that, but, you know, I guess getting the bomb down right there is a consolation prize. If they don't get too invested in this round, they can early buy, so they will be able to get rifles in their hands before match point. I would say that was actually probably a more successful pistol round than I had initially assessed, so good on them for it. And it looks like they are going to be working their way back towards B, where they're going to have a man advantage. The 9 and 6 man of Storm and Roka are going to be there. They're slowed down by a smoke. Interesting to see what they do from here, but it seems like they're more than content just hanging out in the upper tunnels, waiting for someone to come their way, or perhaps waiting for the smoke to dissipate.
Yeah, they're committed to it at this point, just kind of hanging back here. They don't really have a choice here. They have to try and get an eco round off, otherwise they'll be fighting for match point in a scenario where match point will be going on to first full buy, but they did get that bomb plant, but Roka shutting it down in the B tunnels when they try and execute. Storm comes in for the cleanup frag. That will be a 3K for Roka. eLevate will be up 14-13, but there is going to be an early buy coming here from the Flying V, as they did get a bomb plant.
Yeah, or, I mean, seems like they should be. There we go. Now they're early buying. There's no reason for them not to. This is really their last stand here on this map, and they're going to have a firepower advantage, I mean, technically, over eLevate, as they do have 3 FAMASas and that P90 on Desi, but you put a P90 in the right spot, and, you know, there's almost no gun better than it.
Yeah, the P90 is still, I don't even care what other SMGs got boosted. The P90 will wreck your face all day long, if you know how to use
bullets.
it. Yeah.
Or quantity over quality any day. Either way, vVv Gaming cruising their way through long, given up by eLevate here, but it's looks like the gunfight's just going in the way of eLevate so far.
Yeah, but that is going to be no one able to pick up a frag, though. That's going to help out a little bit. That will make it a 3 versus 4 here. As Roka gets the flank off, doesn't matter. XP3 will finish the frag, but Dynamo and no one are keeping their team alive in this. It's going to be a 2-on-2 battle here. Dynamo has to hit some shots here. Gets the first one, and Storm gets the jump shot, and that will be match point for eLevate, 15-3. And now, from here on out, vVv Gaming will be on full buyouts to try and win every single round to force it into overtime.
And after that slick 1 AK that Dynamo hit on the player long, must be really frustrating to get taken down by a jumping FAMAS shot. We've talked about jumping, I don't know, God knows how many cats. I hate it. Not a big fan, even with the scout. think it's really dumb. But, you know, if it's in the game, might as well use it while you can. Great play right there, jumping with that FAMAS. Only needed 1 hit, so, I mean, you know, hitting 1 shot with a rifle is not too out of the question when you're jumping, so I think we can excuse that one just this once.
Yeah, I mean, it
happens.
happens. If you spray enough, I mean, you might be able to make it happen. And it was low, so...
Yeah, it's not like he had 100. If he had 100 HP and got, you know, jumping, you know, shot down, that would be visually upsetting. But yeah, the fact that he just 1 shot, it happens.
So now, we're into possibly the final round of the game. XP3 is able to take down Fade, and there goes Jay. Also, Dynamo will gain something, though, before no one gets dropped down by Desi. Bunshine's able to get 1 before he gets replaced by Roka, or the trade frag down by Roka. Now it's all up to Dynamo. He's going to be 1v3, trying to work his way through the tunnels right now. The bomb is going to be out in the open, and Roka will close the game. That will be a 16-3 victory for eLevate over the Flying V, and they take map number 2 in a very fast fashion there. Yeah, they take very, very fast. After what happened at map number 1, I was like, yeah, all right, this is Flying V. They're going to get a 2-0. But They only take map number 1. Map number 2 will go in favor of eLevate to tie it up. That's going to be 1-1, so each team gets 1 point going forward. But that's not it for the night, guys. Remember, we have Luminosity versus Lunatic in a best of 2 coming up after this in more like 20 minutes. But it's coming up tonight, so don't go anywhere. But yeah, man, I really thought the Flying V was going to be able to handle map number 2 after how well they played on map number 1.
Yeah, they did tease us with that map number 1 performance. I wouldn't go so far as to say that I thought that they were going to lock up the second map. I thought it was possible that they could, especially based on that cash play. I also very much thought they were going to be able to compete a little bit more in that last game. Who knows? I definitely thought it was going to be a way closer game than, what was it, 16-4? I even wrote it down. I already forgot. 16-3 even.
16-3.
Yeah, that is definitely not what you're looking for if you are vVv. But, grand scheme of things, they were able to put up a really good game on cash. There's a reason why I think a lot of these teams are banning Dust 2 against some of the top tier teams. And the eLevate really showed why you should be banning Dust 2 against them. So,
Yeah.
you live and learn. It was a mistake they made, and, they're going to have to live with the results. But either way, a 1-1 push, grand scheme of things, not too terrible. Continuing my streak of casting pushes, but still an exciting game, really, for both teams.
Yeah, definitely looked good there, but remember, guys, we have that secondary matchup that I was talking about, so don't go anywhere. We're gonna take a break now, go to some commercials, hang out, check out what we have going on our Vulcan Fantasy roster, and then when we get back, we will be getting into the bans and picks from Luminosity Gaming versus Lunatic. So hang out, bear with us, and we'll be back very soon, guys.